Hey, so I made a video last week about Fousey Tube and the fact that I thought that he was a little crazy for exposing some of his secrets, and I think I've changed my mind on the guy. I think he's actually pretty cool now. And there's something addictive about watching him. There's something that is like his energy, the instability, the real rawness of it. It's pretty amazing. And what I'm saying is that there's a chance that, first of all, maybe I'm wrong, okay? But there's a chance that this guy is the guy that could take everyone to hell with him. And I'll explain that too. Is the fact that in my worldview, there's classes by the Matrix where all of these influencers and artists and people go to. Not all of them, but the main ones. And what I feel like is happening is that Fousey Tube, because he's so unstable and crazy, he's getting favorable algorithm, right? And he is doing an act. And what's the act? Is that he's up, he's down. Then he acts very feminine. He'll like talk weird and be weird and do all this, the way he sits, all this body language stuff where you're just looking, you're like, what the hell is going on with this guy? And then he'll like start freaking out on his staff. He'll do things and just be crazy. And then he'll have a breakdown, and he'll like turn over all his power to the system of like psychiatry by going to rehab for, if you believe there's a real thing like sex addiction. To some of us, sex addiction sounds just kind of stupid. Obviously, like, some people are just disgusting. Some people have no control, and some people will literally do anything. And you can say like, oh, that's sex addict, okay? You know, maybe you have a really big appetite. But when you say you just go around doing everyone, that's not just necessarily a sex addict. That's just like a whole level of sickness and degeneracy. So you have a guy, he's really nice, really friendly, funny, really charismatic. Then he goes crazy. Then he's up and down, up and down, up and down. And then he goes and hands himself over and gets help. But he's also religious, and he knows stuff. So you get more credibility when you listen to him, because you're like, this guy's just a complete dummy. He doesn't know anything. But then you're like, oh, he knows everything. He knows everything. And the youth don't understand that seeing someone streaming for 24 hours a day and acting crazy is not something to hate, but everyone's gonna mimic it. Every kid, every man is gonna think it's totally normal to like give in to all your urges, let them totally overpower you, be loving life, then hating life, mixing substances into the mix, and then making a complete spectacle of yourself. And again, I'm not, if FouseyTube stops streaming tomorrow and he's just like, you know what, like, I just don't want to, like, I don't want to be the guy, the main actor. I'm not the Leonardo of this movie, of this movement, right? Because music is cool, but music's done in certain ways. Music is kind of over. TV stars, kind of over. News stars, kind of over. And what I mean by music is over is that people idolize streamers just as much as they do hip-hop artists. Just like they do as much, like, no one listens to rock music anymore. Like, no one goes to rock concerts. The closest thing to people going to rock concerts is people going to country concerts. And yeah, some people go to country concerts. But this FouseyTube guy, he's like the master puppet. And he has favor, and his little control agents let him do what he does. He has 10 million followers on YouTube. He's like the oldest guy. Plus, you're going to see all these kids that want to be influencers be like, what happens when you start streaming too much? You just completely go bonkers. And that's going to be the model of, like, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, where you're like, yeah, I'm in my, you know, I'm in a rock band and I just want to do stuff in my arm and I'm just tired and I don't even know where I am. All that type of stuff. That whole narrative, that end of things. This will be the new thing. Is that you start streaming 24/7. You literally sacrifice yourself. And again, this is not coming out of a place of hatred. This is just like, this FouseyTube guy literally is changing streaming forever. Aiden Ross and them don't got shit on FouseyTube. Because he was mainstream enough to, like, get all the followers. So there's a different mass appeal. And when you see him just going crazy, and sometimes he's pretending, and he lies a lot too. So it's just sending a message out there that, you know, go act like this, because people love to mimic people. Once they see you wilding and going crazy, then they'll all act like that. And then you know how the industry is you're more valuable dead than you are alive in the entertainment industry. So yeah. Just saying, like, you just think in the back of your mind that, like, they're playing you. They're playing you. They think you're dumb. So subscribe. Thank you.